Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, there we are.
Live at the Glass Academy, taking this long stringer of glass. And what is this green beverage? Yeah. Not sure about this. Jake's trying some fancy new way to open a bottle.
I've never done this before.
Yeah. And so what happens now?
Watch your eyes,
Ideally,
Michelle.
the heat is soaking into the top of this, and it's going to pop.
What, the top of the bottle or the lid?
The top of the bottle,
This is really exciting.
so that we could drink out of it.
How are you going to get it off of there now?
Well, it's supposed to pop.
And how
Here
you're
it
gonna-
goes, any second now.
You're going to put your lips on some hot
Well, I'm not
glass?
going to drink it just yet, but come on.
Oh, maybe you could
Just
just
watch
mix
your
it up.
eyes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Gathering Point, where we do exciting things with hot molten glass. See how exciting it is?
Is it just me, or is it not popping?
Can you pick up like the whole bottle with that?
There you go. Yes,
It
sir,
popped?
Bob.
There we go, folks.
Do you say soda or do you say pop? Soda pop.
Son of a gun, I told you something was going to happen.
Yeah, now how are you supposed to drink that?
Cool and refreshing.
Ice cold.
Ice cold down here.
All you got to do is put that super sharp, molten hot lip edge right on your lip, and you would be in great comfort.
It smells really good though, like burnt sugar.
That's not how you drink amazing drinks and handcrafted delicious beverages, but we will tell you on this show all about that because we've got an amazing person, Lisa, here today.
Hello. Children, don't try that at home. And you're 21. Go ahead and try this.
Yes, that's a fact.
Good segue. First off, she is a published author.
Yeah, published
If you
author,
guys
nice.
drink tea, this is the author. See that Lisa McDonald on the cover? This is her live in person.
Lisa, where'd you come from and what do you do for a living?
I came from probably a very similar place that you came from, but if we don't want to go that deep, I'm from Colorado originally, but spent a lot of my adult years overseas, France, Germany, Sweden, and I landed in the lovely village or town, some call it a city, of Ann Arbor,
Which is how we met her.
which is how I met your lovely family.
As a small business owner and super champion of some type of material.
Yes, I am a super champion of tea. Yes, it is not just for dummies. And yes, you don't have to be 21 for most of our teas, but I do own a tea store in Ann Arbor. It is a wonderful place called Tea House. Not to be too boring, but house spelled H-A-U-S. And yeah, I've been there now
German
for
style.
17. German style. Believe it or not,
Get
the
it?
Germans buy
It's
more
German
tea.
version.
Yeah, the Germans buy more tea than any other country in the world, go figure. But I will say, yeah, I've been there 17 years now.
So if you guys have been there before, we have a lot of local viewers. Put that in the chat. If you guys have never been and you're curious about it, we're going to have the link to our website in there, and we're also going to be mixing up some drinks and making some glasses to match.
Because,
Absolutely.
and you know why Lisa's here? Because we're opening up a beverage counter.
It's a fact.
So
it's a
guess
perfect
who's
storm.
going to be featured in the future?
And I can definitely help you guys come up with some amazing cocktails, and you can help me come up with some amazing glassware.
Oh yes, it's going to be a collaboration. It's going to be super sweet.
Hello, the cool kids call it collab.
Collab, that's right. We're going to be getting into making that cocktail after this first Van Gogh pumpkin.
Because this is the Van Gogh Pumpkin Show, and this
That's
is
right.
for the members.
You guys give Lisa a welcome in the chat. Say what up to her. She'll be watching the comments from time to time. And we've got cleanup crew came through over here and did a pretty good job so far. And actually, I saw Oliver. He took a paper towel, one sheet of paper towel, and he went down the floor and he was wiping it up. But this is going to be a sticky situation in the end.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, even if you pour this in a glass, the chances of having some glass shards in there are pretty good.
It's an experiment. It's an experiment. The lighting is beautiful back here. We're going to get to the table in a minute. We got Van Gogh products. Our wall back there has been painted a beautiful gray. And this is show 289. Welcome.
Got Bess in the house. Nice and mellow tonight. Just chilling. We got Chris blowing some
What's
glass.
happening?
We got Jake at the furnace over there. And we got Oliver.
There he
doing the
is.
cleanup.
Everybody.
We all take turns with all of this because now we're going to have sticky floor. You want to
Sticky
introduce
floor.
me?
Yeah, here's Michelle, folks. This is the gathering point. Show 289. We've only
I'm
been doing
hooked.
this for coming up on our 5th year. And now her sweater's been removed and the microphone cord is tangled.
Oh, you know what? Here. Pumpkin.
Ooh, delicious.
I kept saying it was pumpkin juice, but it's carrot juice.
Bess, who do we got in the chat so far joining us right off the bat?
Yeah, so far in the chat on the YT side, we've got Angel from Argentina. We've got
Ooh.
Mary Ann from Maine. We've got Carol from Sarnia, Norman from Bloomington, Indiana.
Norman.
Jeanette says, good evening from the south of England.
Yeah, England.
Donald is here. Let's see, Mick plays with a Z. We're getting fancy.
I like.
Says, I got my purple pumpkin in the mail today that Jake and Oliver made for me this weekend. I love it.
Let's go.
Over on the FB side, we've got a hello from Oliver's grandmother. That's exactly what the comment says. I'm just reading it off.
Love that.
Hello, Oliver's grandmother.
We've got Dana says hey from Atlanta, Georgia. Pat says good evening, everyone from Shelby Township. Carol again on the FB side says hello from Sarnia.
Carol's a champion.
Carrie's here.
Oh,
She
Yes.
says hello.
Carrie. It's been a hot minute.
Donna says hi from Twinsburg. Let's see. Deborah says hello from New Jersey. Dave Worth is here. Annette says hi from Illinois. Vicky says hi from Seattle.
All
and
right.
Tea House is here.
And the tea house is here. Yeah, baby.
Lisa's husband's checking out the show on the couch. He's hanging out in the lounge, watching on his phone.
So Chris is starting up this first collab, members only piece. This is for our subscribing members. This one is obviously the process is available to the public, but if you're interested in purchasing this piece off the show, this goes to our members first. And then if it makes it through the members section, it'll be available to the general public. Oliver just certified that he's bringing out the 24 point, our second to largest mold that we have, and we're looking to
Yes.
make, as Chris shapes this up, I'll show you number 10 over here. It's an out of control. We highlighted it in the Anila reveal last week. This one's for sale here tonight. It's kind of got some weather pattern action to it.
Because we were all influenced by the weather last week.
Absolutely. But
Wow, the light going through. Check those out, you guys.
this is our Van Gogh color pattern style, and this one that Chris is working on is a pink version of that blue one, and we're going for about the same size. We're going to get pretty pumped up here because we just had our second weekend of the holiday show, and everything's flowing super smooth. We've really got the steps down pat, and we want to highlight that for you guys tonight.
Hey, can I talk about, like, in the sun, the sparkle is finally showing on that piece?
Oh yeah. Wait till you guys see our new pins. Custom pins. That's looking pretty swirly.
She's got a big swirl in her.
How's the wrist feel after all that?
Not too bad. The cut on my fingers is what's hurting.
Chris had a pretty crazy run-in with, what was it, a raspberry bush?
It was a rose bush.
Rose bush, even better.
Bad news.
And then he went out on the fairway with his 3-iron, his 3-wood, and he tried to take a 200-yard shot, squirted blood out to the side.
Yuck.
It was nasty.
It wasn't the best shot either, but the second one, the recovery shot, was amazing.
I just knew what I was getting into. The blood was okay.
Super tough.
So I put about 15 coats of amazing color on here to create this Van Gogh base. And I'm trying to get a nice bubble in it, but not too big because I'm going to let it cool down, and I'm going to give it to Jake, and he's going to gather over it, encase it, and he's going to start creating the pumpkin itself.
You
This
guys
is
are
just the
handing it
core
off?
color base.
Look at this sweet reflection of the heat. That's the sun coming through the shop and showing off the heat that's coming out of the pilot flame of the torch. That's pretty sweet looking.
We just
It's
love
true.
shadows here.
But I wanted to say, as we get into this piece, after this one, we're going to get into mixing up a specific cocktail of Lisa's. And if you guys have questions about tea in general or tea-infused cocktails or anything of that regard, or even if you're a tea drinker at all, just put those comments out there so we can see them and we can get some questions answered. And maybe if people just say on a scale of 1 to 10 how heavy of a tea drinker they are, 10 being the most heavy tea drinker.
Well,
We'd
what
love
would
to see
be?
that.
A cup a day, 2 cups a day?
Heavy tea drinker will drink 30 to 60 cups a day. That's right, folks. Serious.
I actually had my first glass of tea all year this morning.
You guys, it got cold?
Yeah.
It was
I'm
like
a
40 degrees
wintertime
this
tea
morning.
drinker, and I was sipping it all morning as we were making everything that we were making, and it was really nice.
Chris, could you help me with the next thing? I want to show what Jake takes to gather.
Sure.
So in here we have coconut oil, and in here we have a hot coffee. And one really cool thing about the Van Goghs is the pattern looks like oil and water. So we are influenced by coconut oil and our coffee. It gets these really cool patterns on it. And it's kind of like, see them all, the reflections? Like how water and oil don't mix. It will melt a little bit more. It might be hard to tell in a dark coffee
It
cup.
looks pretty darn cool. You can see it really well on the camera. I love it. I swear, one time I was drinking a coffee with coconut oil in it at home, and it spun around, and then all of a sudden I saw a skull looking right at me.
Look at, I like there's bubbles, like there's big bubbles, there's little bubbles. You're reflected in a big bubble.
Look at, I'm right here, everybody. That was crazy. I was reflected in
You
there.
were. So
Thank
that's
you.
kind of the Van Gogh is like that. The 2 colors that we use don't mix. They go side by side and they swirl together in addition to the way that we swirl it up.
So what we just did right there, I told you guys we layered that 15 layers of color, twisted them up, did our signature Van Gogh style of painting on the interior of the glass. Well, Jake just
back
gathered
up.
molten crystal over the exterior of that, so we actually encased all those colors in between 2 layers of crystal clear glass, which is going to really make this Van Gogh pumpkin a special, really pretty much glistening. I mean, it can't really get that much more blingy.
In a sense, we kind of took it to the magnification station. Is what
Really?
we did by covering it up in clear there. I'm dodging my seashell right here.
Thread the needle.
Yep.
Just so you know, that bubble was a little thin up by
Up
the
at the
neck.
neck.
So just be aware of that.
I was kind of feeling it flopping a little. So we're going to start to build up the heat in this. Take 2 or 3 heats to build back up that core. Chris put a lot of time and effort in the layering of that color and the swirls that he did. And then he let it stiffen up because we didn't want to lose any of that color into the clear pot as we double dunked it. So now I'm going to be slowly building up the heat back into that core, making everything equal throughout the entire gather, the mass of glass. And then we'll get it shaped up for the mold.
So since that part is just a bunch of heating in the glory hole, I thought I'd show you what's on the table. Jake loves these super tall stems. So those were featured on this show. There is the stumpy, which is really how a pumpkin looks. The curls are on the vine. You know, I mean, you don't see pumpkins that have curly stems in real life. So this is the made up version. This is what I'm talking about, like the oil, how I just did it in the coffee. It gets this
There you
oil
go.
slick kind of pattern. We spin this up, but the 2 colors here do not blend. They sit side by side.
That's
and
my favorite one on the
it
table,
looks
number
like
2.
rocks. Yeah, the worst is when you see something that does become your favorite and you're like, wait, it's in the show.
Number 2 is the prehistoric bone pumpkin. We found that one out in the Arctic Ocean.
And the stem survived.
Yeah,
It was amazing.
sturdy.
When the ice thawed,
All right,
So he's preparing that to go into the pumpkin mold here, guys. And you know what? It's not a pumpkin mold, it's an optical mold. And they do make molds that you blow
One
into,
more.
and when you take it out of the mold, the pumpkin is done. But this is an optical mold. It's only used for putting an optical texture in the surface of the glass. And you could use this mold for anything, for vases, bowls, cane, all kinds of really cool things. But this particular one, we're going to be blowing it into the mold, putting the optical textures, and then Jake's going to be manipulating and turning the massive glass into a pumpkin. It's a free-blown pumpkin. It's going to be a one-of-a-kind pumpkin that's never been made before.
Why was the choice of the jumbo style tonight?
The jumbo style?
I mean, that's a big one.
Yeah, we chose that one because we're in the most complete and fluid team-working mindset that we've been all year in making jumbo pumpkins. We've just been making pumpkins for the last 5 months. You've seen it on the last couple shows. We just did a bunch of extra large custom orders this past weekend, and although Matt's not here at the moment, I mean, the four of us know exactly where everyone is doing and what the situation is, and it's just, they're coming out beautifully, so we had to showcase it.
And that's something that's a pretty traditional Venetian thing when you're blowing glass. In Italy, probably over the last 1,000 years, it's been like the mecca of where glass has been produced on the island of Murano. And when they're doing big production runs or large quantities of certain pieces, that's when the really beautiful one-of-a-kind pieces are born. And because we're making so many pumpkins in this harvest season right now, the pumpkins turn
mold
out
stuffer.
great. So in the beginning of the season, the pumpkins are a little bit harder to make, but by the time we produce so many pumpkins, we really know how to handle the glass. You're going to see me helping Jake turn the pipe when he's blowing it out because it's a big piece and it's real tough for one person to do it. So I'm going to assist him while Oliver's blowing in the back of the blowpipe, expanding the pumpkin into its pumpkin self.
Triple team effort here.
It's been a while since we had a three-man warmer-upper.
I know.
That's a fact. Got to do it for the
You're
members.
supposed to be warmed up. We must already be warmed up if we're warming up on a jumbo.
Seriously.
So
All
Jake,
right, Oliver.
Jake necks it. I'm turning, going back.
I'm going to start pulling.
We're communicating. He's pulling the neck out as Oliver's making it bigger, and you can start to see those
Stop, Oliver.
beautiful, transparent, and pink Van Gogh patterns.
All right, blow.
The squish squash, that's called.
That's the schnoz squisher.
Yeah, that mold is not shaped the best for making
Oh,
round
that's
Stop.
a nice one. You got it now, Jake?
Yep, I got her.
That is one tasty looking big pink Van
All right,
Gogh
one
pumpkin.
more good super puff now.
Hey, who got to watch Corning Museum
Good.
of Glass? The
Jeez, look
runner-up from Blown Away. Ryan was at Corning this week.
That's right, he was. Super cool. I saw that.
Yeah, the videos are pretty cool.
You got enough room getting out with both doors?
One
or just one
door's fine.
Let me know when you're ready.
All right. Or two if you guys are both
Yeah,
ready
well,
to
Gogh's
ride.
going to flip it.
All right, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
So the other thing about blowing pumpkins out is you really want to make sure that you're letting the glass freeze up just when it's in its most beautiful state. And that's what's happening is giving it a little bit of puff so that that pumpkin has its own core, massive, like bulging looking identity.
That's exactly what it's got, folks. I'm going to try and turn slow, but it's still moving.
It's
Look
really
at all that
moving.
action. You know it was blown up correct when you still got that much heat after the fact. But it's so
So-
nice having it encased in clear like that.
So it really does it. It's really not born until we put its little birthmark on the bottom.
Oh.
And its little birthmark on the bottom is the GA stamp for the Glass Academy. And every pumpkin we make,
That's okay.
and every piece we make that comes out of this studio here in Dearborn, Michigan, has a GA stamp on it to let you know it came from our studio. And Oliver's going to be bringing a tiny little gather to the bottom of this piece.
We're going with one of our top voted ultra super beauty stems for this one. And it's going to be a white core with a matching magenta, matching to the body, magenta coat of pink on top.
I like that.
It's going to be gorgeous. And at this point, when it gets to pumpkins this size, also putting on the stems are about a 3-person job too, because there's so much thickness and they want to continually keep moving that you need someone blowing on it to stiffen it up.
I also like to cap the
That's the
air
white
on
core
this
there?
piece while Jake's flattening it so that
Thank
it
you.
really gives that little extra bit of bulge action. You want the pumpkin to look alive. You want to look like it just came out of the patch. Just heating the bottom up enough to get that stamp into the bottom.
So this year, how many people, put it in the chat if you were able to come to our show. This was year 16 that we've been putting on our pumpkin shows. We had 2 weekends. We did live glass blowing demonstrations. Not as good as you're seeing right here because you can't get up close and in the action like we can on the live videos. But the show was amazing. I want to thank everyone who came out. It was a joy having you all here. If you're local, it's something to travel to. It's something to see.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, we are a destination spot, guys. Here in Michigan, we draw people from about a 4-hour radius, which creeps kind of into Illinois and Ohio that come to the studio. But you are welcome to come from any state you want.
They've got the approval.
That you guys all have the approval to head to the Glass Academy.
What about the tea house?
The tea
Double
house,
whammy?
Double whammy in Ann Arbor. If you go to the tea house, you guys are going to be blown away because she's got amazing food, amazing
All right, here we
treats,
go.
amazing drinks, and probably, I know for sure, an amazing staff.
That's a fact.
So here we go. We're going to knock this thing off. It's going to break right off of the top of the punty. And then at that point, Oliver's going to be bringing the stem. Take that from you.
Thank you.
Oliver's going to be taking this stem
Thank you.
and jamming it onto the top of the pumpkin, right on that hole. And he's going to seal it up. And they're going to draw the stem out in the
Oliver.
most beautiful fashion. Look at this guy. Who is this
Jeez,
guy?
Who is he? Can I get a pair of tweezers from you, Dad? Oh, baby. Thank you. We're going to do the old classic, bring it up, wiggle it around. Put it right there.
Classic. I don't think that was a classic until this year.
Yeah, it's a classic now, that's for sure.
Colors
Now
look
that
great.
is a one-of-a-kind stem. There's not another one in it that's like that because
Pink on
that's
pink,
the way
baby.
it just grew, folks. And we
Yeah,
always
you
take
saw
the
it.
time to make sure that that stem is really attached to the top of the pumpkin well, so it looks amazingly fragile and delicate and really Cinderella-like. But it's got a little bit of strength to it because Oliver right now is attaching it permanently to the top of the pumpkin.
Mr. Tucker.
Now we're going into the annealing oven, which is going to cool that pumpkin down for about 16 to 18 hours, which
That's
is an
a beauty.
amazing thing that a lot of people don't know is that you
Oh,
can't
right
let
side.
that thing cool down completely on its own. If you do, it would cool down in about 3 to 4 minutes and explode into a million
Beautiful.
little pumpkin pieces, and we don't want that. They put it in there at the end of the night. Everything we do tonight will be brought down over a predetermined period of time with a computer that brings that annealing oven down. Nice work. Nice work,
teamwork,
Oliver.
team.
That stem was
that
pretty
was a
sweet.
beautiful stem. That was tight, really tight.
Hell yeah. All right, well now,
Now we're
we're
warm.
going
to the drink station.
to the drink station. Let's get her over on the camera. Come
right.
on.
Let's hear what's
Lisa
going
from
on.
the tea house.
Are you going to be using these tweezers?
Sure. Absolutely. Each and every ice cube will be meticulously placed into my glass.
Perfect.
Yes. So this is really fun because I heard you guys were doing pumpkins.
Yes.
So I decided to bring one of my fall drinks that I just tried this year for the first time. I've been really into shrubbing. I'm a sure that shrubs.
Wait, what's a
And
shrub?
What is shrubbing?
Because that sounds like a
Shrubbing
bush
is
or a
very
tree.
cool old way of preserving things. So it's basically vinegar to fruit to sugar to spices. And the other methodology I'd like to use a lot, because I kind of get nerdy about my drinks, is the milk punch. So milk punch is another super old classic way of preserving milk. So believe it or not, the drink that we're going to have here, which is almost a clear liquid, starts out as whole milk.
That is so bizarre.
What is the process called again?
It is actually, well, I'm basically curdling the milk. So I'm separating the whey from the fats. And so the only way you can do that is with some acid. So pumpkin has quite a bit of vitamin C in it. So pumpkin itself has a little bit of acid. But then I have to add a citrus, so it has some orange. And then I like to throw in a little bit of malic or citric acid as well to really get it to curdle. Then
let me pause you one sec, because I'd love to know if anybody out there has ever done this themselves. I hadn't ever heard about this until today. It sounds like a pretty involved, pretty cool process.
It is very involved. It takes a long time, but it's worth it in the end, because the final product has a nice creaminess to it, but it's shelf stable, so you don't have to worry about there actually being like milk in your drink to curdle. So this one also has one of my favorite teas. So because it's like pumpkin chai season, and we all want to go to like get our pumpkin chai lattes. Oh my god! So basically, I have totally made a pumpkin chai latte, but it actually
designer style.
It is designer style, but ironically, it actually has pumpkin in it and actual tea in it.
And milk, technically.
And milk. So it's the perfect, and of course, some of my favorite whiskey from Mammoth Distilling.
Represent
Mammoth.
Like she told us the whole story about rye, made in Michigan. We'll talk about that later.
So yeah, this is basically, guys, let my milk, my tea, my acid, and my spices. We make our own spice blends at Tea House as well. And I let that sit until it completely and thoroughly curdles and looks absolutely disgusting. And yeah, you want a sip? It's worth it in the end. And then we get to serve it. So this is, so basically how we serve this in our store, because we got to make the drink pretty. Oh man.
What do you need?
My garnish next to the husband on the couch.
Oh, cue the husband.
Yeah,
Cue the husband.
$1 million host. Yay! I told him he needed to come tonight.
So Lisa has this glass, and she tells us this is what she uses. Now the challenge for tonight is what we want to make. So you guys can put it in the chat, like how can we pumpkinify this glass?
How can we pumpkinify this glass? Because I feel like this glass, it's a pretty glass, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's a fun glass to have. So I like to rim. So the rim is going to be a simple syrup.
Okay.
And then in this we have dehydrated pumpkin from a local pumpkin farm.
Love that.
And then we have our masala spices, which are from the store, and a little bit of sugar. So that's going to give you your kind of like sweet.
God, I wish I could smell it. It smells so good.
The fancy
Smell-o-vision.
Whoops.
That's okay. It's an art studio. You can toss it on the floor.
Bar top, technically. If people wanted to make this drink or try this drink, is there recipes, or do they have to come to your place? Can they read about it online? What's the call to action?
Believe it or not, I do have. Well, I thank you.
Bam!
Someone is much better at product placement than I am. So,
she's got recipes in here,
I do have recipes. Together with Phil from Mammoth Distilling, he and I do a lot of pop-ups, and we do a lot of cocktail classes and stuff. And there are some recipes in there that we have come together. And there is a milk punch, and kind of gives you a general idea of how to make a milk punch.
Okay.
And I just think people should experiment. So normally I would actually weigh this out, but again, imagine this had been cloudy white milk.
Right.
Oh man, he was sneaky. I didn't
Whoa.
see him. So at the store, we were just going to top it off.
Get rid of this blue bowl.
And then you get, because it does have an acid, normally it's like an orange or a lemon. I did an orange to bring in the acid. So that is the milk punch. So
That's beautiful in itself right there. That's gorgeous.
yeah, but I'm thinking it needs a little something.
There you guys,
Now,
put it in the
base
chat.
alcohol in this is a lovely rye whiskey from Mammoth Distilling, but I also added a bit of mezcal. The mezcal I use is quite smoky.
Okay.
I would say it's one of the smokier mezcals I've ever had. There's enough in there that it gives it a hint of smoke. So if you imagine having a pumpkin chai latte, but by the campfire.
Okay.
There you go. See? So
Or by the glassblowing studio.
This is a beautiful glass. It's a glass, but you know, it's a glass that you can buy at the store. So, challenge on.
That's our drink. We've heard about it now, and the idea and the excitement of the future here at the Glass Academy, part of everything that we do, is that we could take a drink and understand where it came from and understand what it's all about, and we're going to attempt to design a glass that could potentially work with this drink, and we'll get your opinions on the glass after it's made.
Because I think you're each making one, your own rendition,
Yeah.
correct?
Oh,
So-
I'm going to decide which one I like better for my
Yeah.
And I got a few questions here because I'm going first.
All right.
One, I think I heard you say, Lisa, that it was a pretty smoky flavor. You put
Yeah.
that mezcal in there to get some smokiness, right?
Absolutely.
So traditionally, if I was going to do some type of a harvest season pumpkin style glass, I'd be putting green leaves, but I think if we maybe switched them over to like a gray, smoky color, so they're a little bit more not as literal, but they still would be leaves, but they wouldn't be green, they'd be
Did
smoky.
I say gray
like that.
leaves at the table and I got slammed?
I don't even know anything about that,
Yeah,
folks.
no one heard it, so it didn't happen. And I feel like, like they always say like smoky eyes and smoky, like that. It just gives a little bit of elegance to the drink. So
Yeah, I've had
we'll-
some women on the show talk about Jake's smoky eyes.
Oh, Jake,
What?
you have smoky eyes.
That's
I don't know
right.
anything about that. Moving on.
I know.
Without Jake's smoky eye.
Do you want to
That's
draw
right.
it up on the floor, or are you just going to make it out of glass?
No, I could draw it up on the floor. I'll draw it right over here on this
Okay.
exploding pop.
On the sticky floor?
And
Yeah.
then I can show off the table if we want, because
Yeah,
it's
the
probably going
table.
live about 2 minutes ago.
Yep, let's do that one.
Just now. All right, there goes Bess.
I know. Okay, we're going to go over to the bonus table.
This is bonus table number 1. Folks, we have a lot of beautiful pumpkins that we want to make available to you guys, as we've done on our virtual show, but not just one time a year. So we have some more pumpkins here that weren't highlighted previously online, and we wanted to show them off tonight. They've been added on to the show. These are bonus opportunities. If you're still got that pumpkin fiend going on, there is a Van Gogh actually represented. These are just a few other
Sometimes
styles.
They're nice because they're bigger. And so if you have smaller pumpkins, it looks really good.
Yep. And we're going to have one more show of pumpkins, the Sugar Pumpkin Show, after this one. And then we're going to be getting into our harvest accents. So get ready to kind of decorate around that and get your table prepped for Thanksgiving and all other beautiful fall-themed holidays and good times that
It
might be
has some
coming up.
Texture on it, the sugar. This one is really what a
Van
pumpkin
Gogh
stem
stumper.
looks like. We just took a bunch of pictures of pumpkins, real ones. Okay. Chris is drawing it up.
Oh, look at this.
Taking a peek.
It's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good.
I think that's going to be tasty.
Okay, and you're talking about gray.
Yeah, I'm looking at gray, which in the English style would be like this.
Grease? Oh. Or is that German? Is that gray and
Is that Gary?
German?
Wow.
Oh, Grau, right.
Wow.
That's right.
Orange.
That's orange right there.
Then we're going gray and orange.
And so we did talk about two. Do we want the
Put a neon
vessel
that
to be clear so that you can see the interesting colors of
Orange.
the beverage?
Orange.
And the, whatchamacallit, the garnishes.
So we're going to
Yes.
get back into the glass blowing, the hot molten action.
There he goes.
It's true.
Yeah, some of these specialty shows we might have to just dip off, but we'll get back into the action.
Got the pipe here, nice and red hot on the end. You can't be gathering molten glass on a cold blowpipe.
Into the new furnace. Hey, last week we talked about names for the furnace. We haven't picked a name. Can you guys throw some names in the chat? So when we walk over to the furnace, we have a name for it.
Oh,
Sometimes I like literal names. Sometimes I like motivational names. Feels like the glory hole is burning hot tonight.
cheers. Well, I decided to use a transparent burnt harvest orange instead of a bright opaque pumpkin orange because I really like having a translucency in a glass that you're drinking out of. And especially I know for a fact when you're hosting people or you're at your place to have an opaque glass, it's always confusing for the bartender because they keep asking the person if they want another drink and they're like, my drink's full, I can't see it.
Yep.
So this way, transparency allows you to see the beauty of the drink and experience the beauty of some translucent glass.
I think that's a really good idea. That was also thought out in mine as well. Here he comes. The magma. Transparent orange. He's going to put the bubble into it here, folks. Watch this. Oh, yeah.
So spinning it around like that, I just wasn't doing that for fun. I was doing it because I wanted to lengthen the piece out, but if I did want to do it for fun, I just come back in and do it again when it's not moving anymore.
You
Now
look
that's
so
a
cool
good
when
time.
you do that.
Yeah, it's like the marching. I'm the band leader.
I wanted to mention that to Bobby, I believe it's his daughter that's getting a custom order done tonight that is in the book for later. We're going to do these two pieces that have to refer to this amazing tea super drink, and then we're going to be making your custom order. Van Gogh tumbler is going to be out of control.
We did lots of things. Chat.
Lots, many things. More than one.
So there's some nice little pumpkin ridges going on there.
So we had a question come through, Jake, in the Facebook chat that I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
Wait 1 second. Hot off the press. These just came in today. Yeah, they got stuck in the port.
Those are for sale online. Brand new signature pumpkin custom Glass Academy pin. And the question from Oliver is, right as he's ready to blow into the pipe, let's
Yeah.
hear it.
Give me 1 second, everybody.
Blow.
Little teamwork. Chris focusing. Probably hear that
Good.
sound through the microphone there. It's got that tall shape. I'm going to come back over. This is the bottom with that little nub on it. So I want to pan back over to the drawing here and show you guys.
So the question was, we were talking about the tea house and the time spent over in Europe and how big Germany is and like the culture surrounding tea. And someone, I believe it was Linda, asked if you had the opportunity, would you head over to Murano and kick it with the glass master over there for a little bit?
Me
If
or
you-
Lisa?
If you.
I would absolutely go over there and kick it with those guys. Heck yeah.
I think that was Linda's exact wording. Jake, would you kick it over in Murano?
Yeah, Linda, you know the deal. I mentioned it on the show before, my first priority is to get to Japan. I think we do a lot of Italian style of glass blowing. I think it'd be super cool to head over to Japan and see how they do it over there and get to work on a couple different projects all the way across on the other side of the earth.
I'm sure that nobody hears that noise that's shaking the whole building, but at least it's out of the way.
That's just Etta.
Oliver, can you
Treacherous.
give me a bench blow?
Chris has just heated the
Blow.
bottom half. This is a transparent power orange,
Good.
but you can't tell that right now. It's glowing,
Cap
and the
it.
pipe even looks the most orange. Oh, look at this shape.
Rory would be a nice name.
Beautiful.
Rory?
All right, we're going to put a stem on it, then we're going to put some leaves.
Ah.
3 leaves, but the stem's going to be... Let's make it
It's all
gray.
gonna be gray.
Yep.
Stem and leaves are gray.
Yeah,
So
stem and
there's
leaves
our
are gray.
glass shape. And Lisa, if you're not familiar yet with the way this goes down, that's upside down. So we're going to be going for the stem here. Let's see how it sits on the table.
God, that's gorgeous. And boy, that feels good.
Mm.
Nice
I love,
and
like,
warm.
The oranges and almost like a granite and red. It's gorgeous.
And this will actually pop. It looks really brown, but it'll be a lot brighter orange when it cools down.
So before that piece cracks and falls apart, Chris takes a heat, and Oliver's over here gathering up some deep gray for the application of the stem. And
Now, Chris, I've never used this gray before. Is it super powerful, or do I need to put a couple coats on it?
No, one coat's going to be good because we want it to be smoky.
Okay.
If we had it like 2 or 3 coats, it would be dark, kind of like Batman style. And we're not going for Batman right now. No Batmans allowed.
You take a heat before you want any paddle from me?
Yep.
Amidst the amazing collaboration, we have not sent out the warmer upper jumbo Van Gogh to our members yet. So that's getting posted right now on the website. That'll be in your inbox pretty soon. Members, stay tuned. Meanwhile, Chris has got a really nice
You're going to
do you
give me
need
a paddle on
or
this guy
no?
now? Yep.
You want me
So
to
we
hold
do a
something?
nice little delicate, low-profile Evolio, which
Sit
is the
down.
transition point between the foot and the cup. It's pretty much the strongest part of the piece. Nothing's worse than having a weak piece of drinkware. Lightly, press harder. Okay, lighten up, off.
Uh-oh.
Talk about that.
That was pretty weak. But sometimes it's too
Okay,
loud.
we'll
and
put
it
the
hurts your
leaves on
ears.
first.
Yep.
Hurts my ear a little bit. That's how I know I still got good hearing. But basically, we're at 925,000 views on YouTube, folks, and we're looking to reach 1 million before the end of the year. So Michelle and I were brainstorming ideas about this and looking for, is that enough glass for you there? Or those are the leaves.
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 Awesome. We were brainstorming ideas for what type of contest you guys might like.
It's gonna
Yeah, you got to
be-
balance it. When we hit 1 million views, we'd like to do some sort of competition for if we can
Marvin,
reach
that's
1
a little bit
million
of a point
views
for me.
on YouTube
I'll be
before
ready.
our 300th show, which is on New Year's Eve. We'll do some sort of crazy special giveaway or some sort of super cool something or other that is going to go down.
Are you saying a little something something?
Something, folks. I don't have the answer, but I'm looking for suggestions, and Michelle and I are going to keep brainstorming as we do about what you guys might like and what you guys want to see being done. We're probably going to fire up the big hole for that 300th show. It's going to get crazy, but if we reach 1,000 or 1 million views, we'd like to do something a little extra special for you all. And that involves you guys just liking and sharing the feed, subscribing to our channel, and sharing that with your friends and family, and talking about it with the people that you know or don't know. Taking one of our stickers and, just putting it right
Go
there
Marver.
where it belongs,
I'll give you a freshie after this.
wherever that is.
Might be good.
Oh, yeah. Get as close as...
The members only piece is available, so that's live.
you a freshie.
Loyalty League members, you were sent the link earlier. Michelle made sure of it, so that should already be in your email inboxes.
Members piece available. You heard it.
Going right behind you. So, Jake,
Yes.
I got a little bit of beef with you now.
Uh-oh.
Because you're talking about doing maybe a big show again, hooking up the big glory hole, all this, all that, like the 200 show.
What, are you going to be out of town?
No, dude, when are you going to do a small show and hook up the little glory hole?
Ooh,
What are we gonna do?
a
What are we gonna do?
mini
Tiny
show?
show.
I do kind of feel like the little glory hole's been neglected.
That would be pretty cool. $2.99 the mini show in preparation for the jumbo
The
show.
itty bitty show.
And I would get to be here for that because I'm not
Chris just turned into a robot. You guys all saw it in real time. His snipping hand just totally turned robotic.
All right, now we're going orange foot.
Oh, a stiff color for a nice, thin, delicate.
One coat of orange. Bring it to me screaming hot, Ollie.
Bring it screaming. Okay.
You can hear it.
I don't bring a lot of bits anymore when we're doing a lot of production glass, but if there is one bit that I'd like to sneak in front of Oliver and take charge on, it would be this bit, because the importance of the heat
girly.
and the symmetry and the way this lands onto that small little patty is super important. So Oliver, we've talked a lot about this, both him and I, and Chris and him have spent a lot of time.
That's pretty big. You can drop half of that.
We spent a lot of time talking about how this goes down.
Jake, quit psyching me out, man.
Yeah, I'm talking him up too much. He's going in for his 4th gather.
Whoa, Oliver,
Look at
let's
those
do it.
shoes. That's what I'm talking about. Get over here, you little...
One nice symmetrical coat, and I'll be ready.
There she is, folks. She's getting bigger, and her tail's still just as fluffy.
Okay.
Head of the champion.
Yep.
What's going on? I'm kind of tired. She's been
You
hanging out with
ready?
us a lot while we've been blowing glass.
Come on.
Ready.
Come on.
With elegance, here they come. I know. That was beautiful, Oliver. Nice. I'll get the paddle.
Who's gonna footing tool it?
That's wood,
That's wood.
but it's wet.
Yes, that's cherry wood, and this is also cherry wood. This is a drier wood, but that's the best tool you can use. If we were to do that with metal, it would cool the glass down and stiffen it up instantly. So using it on wood and having it being soaked in water, it rides on steam. It doesn't stick. If it was dry wood, you'd grab it and it would instantly stick, and you just tear it off the bottom.
It's good to have It's good to, now I see there's a lot of correlation. We've got to have some cherry wood to make some good whiskeys.
Oh, yeah.
Like the cask, what are they called? Different, yeah, the barrels.
We're super excited to come up with the names of some drinks, too. Lots of cool stuff. Noticing a treacherous situation over here. Never can be the GA stamp as the last tool on the bench, because that just leads to stamp on floor, and you got a dented stamp. So the next most important bit that Oliver is putting together and prepping for this piece as the assistant in this particular piece is he just did the foot. Now Chris is lining it up and getting it stabilized, and Oliver's going to bring over the punty. And that's that little small connection on the bottom that's going to be touched gently to the bottom, but strong enough that it'll hold the piece for the rest of its creation. They're going to break it off this pipe and flip it around to open up the lip of the glass.
Alrighty.
I think she could choose which one she wants.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll put the other one on next week's show. No, we won't. Don't even worry.
So that lines up perfectly. Chris puts a little cold metal at the perfect temperature, and it breaks off beautifully. And you saw Oliver had a little pep in his step, knowing that the glass was just at a breaking temperature, which means it could break itself just from room temperature air if you stand around for a few extra seconds. So he hustled it over and he got it prepped.
Mine looks like a corn cob here.
It's got some corn cob mojo. One thing I really love, and is a very difficult challenge for glass blowers, and something we love
How about a
doing
gray
with
lip
our
wrap, Ollie?
functional drinkware and making
Lip wrap,
cocktails
gray.
specifically, or making wine glasses. You got to have a very thin lip. You don't want to be drinking a really nice cocktail like this, and I don't know if you would agree with me, but having a thick lip on the edge of it, so you're just like slobbering on it, and you're not really getting all the
Not slobbering.
the flavor right on the tip of your tongue.
Moscow Mule, maybe.
Yeah,
But no, otherwise you gotta have a nice crisp.
That's why they
That's
got
very
those
important.
big copper like bucket cups.
Yeah. So making these really thin on the top is a difficult
gonna
thing
be
for
gray.
glass blowing, and a beautiful challenge that we love.
That's how you open it up.
That's part of it. That's the tweezer. So he's just doing what I was kind of mentioning there, is thinning it out. He
I'm gonna
broke
trim
it
it
off.
and
It
then we'll
wasn't
go
a
for it.
perfect cut, and now he's got just the top pot, so he's going to pull it out really thin. He'll cut off the extra, and then I see Oliver prepping up a really tiny color application of gray to match those leaves. That'll be right on the top of the lip. Oh, yes.
Ollie?
Oh, yes. Real thin it goes, and he doesn't want to put any cut marks on there with the shears because there'll be a big thick corner to it. So he likes to just drag that away so that there's no actual, corner to the circle.
Everyone knows that circles have a lot of corners.
Known fact.
You could even go so far as say circles have infinite corners. That's what makes them circles.
They're
I can
definitely
get down with
smooth.
that.
Jake, you were so right.
Thanks for backing me up on that one, Oliver. Bess, are we anyone asking any questions about tea or anything interesting going on in the comments tonight?
Like paddle, Ollie?
No questions about tea. I did share the link to the pin in the comments and all of our other signature pumpkin items we have available as far as shirts. And
Nice.
people are loving the new mug design, the new sweatshirt design.
Awesome.
Robin says hello to my brother and sister-in-law, Dave and Di, who are enjoying a beverage in their GA tumblers tonight watching the show.
Let's go. New t-shirts. Are those on the website already?
They are. I put the link in the comments.
Amazing. So there you go, folks. I didn't even know we were making those for sale. I thought those were for in-house only, but
And one got ordered tonight already.
hear ye. One's already sold. That's a tasty looking glass.
I want to try to keep it
What are you doing?
to about the 6 to 8 ounce size. It's looking pretty good there.
Wow.
I think that's going to be about the right size.
Little
'Cause
taller, but a little
but
skinnier.
Yep, little narrower.
Loyalty League pumpkin is still available, just so you guys know. If you were a member of the Loyalty League
Take a
and
GA
you are still
stamp?
interested in seeing or in purchasing that pumpkin, it is still available. Just headbutted the camera there.
Love that. So they're going to put our signature on this piece. They're going to sign it by putting the GA stamp on there. That signifies the completion of the piece. And then, of course, you just got to get it off the pipe and get it into the box to cool down overnight without any treachery. I'll sketch mine out, yeah.
He better sketches out.
Okay. I can do this.
So maybe I misheard, but Lisa, I think you were told that you get to pick one of these glasses between the Chris one or the Jake one here.
That's
and
right.
You were talking about, you might feel guilty about having to choose between one or the other. So just to help, this one here is really beautiful and it's super nice. And we haven't seen Jake's yet, but if you don't choose Jake's, he will cry.
Take a look at this, folks. We need to know. You can vote online, but Lisa's going to be voting for herself. And that's number 1.
Not done yet.
You want this taken away with the forks?
Yes, sir.
All right. The big forks right there.
I don't even know if I need to use the torch on the bottom. That punny came off so nice, Oliver.
That's what we like to hear.
Make sure now you bring Jake's punny like twice as thick.
I got you.
We're into the competition
We're
mode,
going in over here?
folks. Let's
Yep,
go.
on the right side.
I love competition mode.
Number 4, right side.
Nice.
Nice piece, Chris.
Nice. That sounds pretty tasty.
Great.
Oh, here he goes, folks.
This is gonna get that out of there. I really want to try, and we haven't done it in a while. I remember on a Goblet show the last time we did this, it was a pretty challenging maneuver, and I want to try it again. This particular
Blown trumpet foot?
Yeah, this particular goblet was one of my favorites in a long time, and a customer, an amazing customer of ours, purchased it and then actually gifted it back to me, and it's back home in my cabinet. I look at it every day, and it's a super cool, beautiful, incredible thing. So shouts out to you. You know who you are. But this will be a shorter version of that. This will be a hollow, delicate foot, trumpet foot that it sits on. I wanted this patty to be that same transparent orange that I had brought out for mine, so that it glows. This will be clear with gold ribs coming up, flowing really elegantly, kind of symbolizing some harvest pumpkin action. But this is a beautiful visual optical situation that I found when we did our first photo shoot in the Michigan room when we made cocktails, and we made a French 95 or 75, and it was a yellow ring on the bottom, and when we filled it up with champagne, that brilliant yellow shone through the whole cup as the drink was filled up. So this being transparent enough, and to add a little orange harvest action, I think that platform will add orange to the drink. The gold will look amazing, and then this will be a classic, clean, crisp, tasty trumpet foot.
Speaking of clean, what's this?
Dirty.
I do want to just let everyone know that I was thinking all that crazy drink stuff too when I made mine. That's right.
And we got to use clear. We talked about it on the last show, how we don't often use clear glass very much because the people want color, and we like working with color as well. But when you're going to add a drink to it, there's a second portion to the design process of this. You got to have some transparency, and you got to have clear to represent what's being drunk or drank. Whichever one it is.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. All right.
Linda says, I love that you're going with the gold ribs.
We got those gold ribs happening these days. They're coming out clean.
That's our traditional bonker.
It's the most complicated tool we have.
I turned it into the tire thumper just by grinding those notches in there.
Let it be known, I've got our freshly bent favorite pipe for this amazing piece.
A
Nice.
freshly
Looking
bent.
forward to it.
Well,
we got some
somebody was
crystal
blowing
clear.
today. Somebody was bending the pipes today, and it wasn't me.
Jake, I saw you running a knockoff today for the product you were making. What's going on? You have something you need to confess
We were
about?
using red pipes then. Bent pipe means there was some misuse in some sort of way, whether it's the pipe falling over or whether it's, someone doing this move and then shooting the pipe into the metal shop.
Just like and it literally means the pipe has a bend in it, everybody, and it is just as annoying as if you find a bend in your pool cue in a game of pool. It is just as frustrating to work with. And it's just another element to work with.
Could you grab me the brassy? Since he just used the 12-pointer, I'll go for the 24.
I can verify, though, that I've beat many
Thanks,
people with
Oliver.
a bent pool stick. Just so you know, Oliver.
You haven't met too many people who have bent a pool stick?
Well, I mean, you go to a pool hall and you take the best stick you got, and it's most likely going to be bent. It's going to be crooked. Very rarely do you get a nice straight pool stick. Now you're going for the ribs, the
The pow-pow.
pow-pow on the rib.
Could you tuck that flame back just a hair, Oliver?
So he doesn't want to reduce the color, but watch how these optical ridges are raised off the top, and the gold touches only on the surface.
Well,
Looking good. There you go. Give it a little tap. And yeah, we had a great question from our amazing guest here from the tea house. She said, what is that, sand? It's powdered glass. And that's looking tasty. Look at that. Oh, he's going for it, you guys. This is going to be the
That's a
60
good 6
ounce.
ounce pour.
This is a big ass drink.
Oh, all that breath was within me.
Oh my God, this is the coolest thing. It's like a giant peanut.
Jay.
What exactly happened here, Jake?
I just got really carried away. I didn't know what to do.
Now it looks like it.
Well, it's my turn now.
It's my turn now.
Huh?
I'm gonna dunk this in our clear bucket so we can recycle it.
What
Yeah.
happened, folks, I'll do that for you, Jake, is when Jake rolled that
Thanks,
onto the
Thank you.
iris kind of nice looking fine powder thing here, it was a little bit too thick. And when he went in there, some of the iridescent powder went into the cracks instead of just on the higher points of the cracks. So I'm going to smooth this out a little bit. See, that's the magic right there.
There's a second portion of the reason that happened, and the first one is that I left it too thick on the marber, like Chris mentioned. But also, in trying to make my piece a little different than Chris's, I went with the 24-point mold. And when you have more ribs, the ribs aren't as prominent, so the valleys aren't as deep. So it was a lot easier for that glass to get up in the valleys of all 24 of those, and it just didn't look clean. It wasn't going to be correct.
So are you going to go for the 12-pointer?
Yes.
Nice.
That would make it interesting.
So,
The butternut squash ornament, that would be amazing. Even that size, it could be a tree topper.
Sounds good.
so we're talking about the mold, we're talking about the thickness of the powder, and it had absolutely nothing to do with the fact that the pipe was crooked and bent.
It had to be because of that. You saw when he was rolling, he was going like this.
Yeah.
The hydraulic bouncing arm.
Yeah. So he's going into the mold, folks. Clear crystal, 12-point this time, so that the ribs are more prominently sticking out. He's going to give it a little bit of heat just to get that exterior surface of the ridges a little tacky. And Michelle's going to zoom in over here when he does it. Watch. Here we go, folks.
There we go. Now you got it.
Oh. That's what we're talking about. And now a little puffification.
Now, I want
Much
you to know
more
that
classy.
I picked out that pipe this time, and I made sure it was straight.
That pipe did the job, Oliver.
Nice work. Well, we do. There is a piece of glass there, like stuck down on the ground.
Well,
and if Ada goes there and starts licking up some of that soda pop, boom, there goes the tongue.
Good.
She better just stay away.
Stay away, Ada.
See how little I touched it there?
No.
All right. One, maybe two
Away.
coats of the saffron, and we'll drop a patty on the bottom.
She said
Like thumb
Ada
size?
never stays away.
Yeah.
Trouble is in her name.
So we got it really symmetrical, really nice. The gold went on there beautifully. A lot of optic action going on in there. And now we're gonna put that gold patty on the bottom to shine light up into the cup.
I was going to mention something about the tea house because the tea house is right around the corner from the gallery in Ann Arbor and Carytown, guys. And if you haven't been up to Carytown, it is an amazing little town right in the middle of Ann Arbor, Carytown. And
Town,
tea house is right on the
Carytown.
corner of 4th and, is it 4th and Ann Street? And my gallery is right literally 100 feet from your place.
It's a destination spot.
Yes, she does have a beautiful giant steel and glass sunflower in her place celebrating the Ukraine. But it's got a great patio too, so if you're ever in town for a game or in town for dinner, you want to go there and get a tea or dessert or maybe even a drink before you go to dinner or after dinner. It's a great spot, the tea house. And I just heard that they don't do internet, but I'm gonna let Lisa tell you a little bit about that.
Yeah, I decided after the pandemic we all needed to reconnect by disconnecting. So we don't allow laptops, we don't have Wi-Fi, we have games, puzzles, drawing things. People come in and they, what is it called, crochet and knit, and they do everything. They can sit as long as they want, and it's not about optimizing the space, or monetizing the space. It's just about community.
So you're basically kind of putting a limit on people transferring themselves to the fourth dimension
There's saffron
through
on
the
that?
internet.
Absolutely.
That's
The
amazing.
concept of the third place, like it used to be the third place was an
On
extension
that
of
bit
our
right there?
home. It was a social place, but because of COVID, the
Two.
third place became an extension of our work. So I just decided to bring back that third place concept being what it originally was intended to be.
I love it. Every time I'm in there, I feel really relaxed, and somehow that just happens
There
to
we
be the
go.
time to get a tasty
Just hot.
macaroon.
There you go. We do make all of our own French macarons in-house.
Yeah.
I didn't know that about your guys' place, and that's super cool.
Thank you.
Super
We are.
cool.
All of them.
I love
Super
that.
Cool.
All right, Dad, I'm going to need you to step in to bring this one,
Blown foot.
please.
Clear.
Yes. Clear and classy, and I'd like to put a gold lip wrap on that foot. Or would it be a foot wrap? Toe wrap? In case you stub your toe.
Oliver, you want to explain what a blown foot is to everybody?
Here, get prepped for that conversation.
I can talk about that. This is a really specific bit that's being brought.
No. Just smooth,
And because we're
just clear, no ribs.
doing this with someone specific in mind, we're doing this with Lisa and the tea house in mind. So we want this to be very technical, a very elegant piece of glassware, which is why Chris is stepping in here to do this blown bit. So this is going to be all clear. Chris has his crystal clear gather. He's going to blow a bubble into there, and he's going to get it to the right thickness. He's going to get that bubble on center. He's going to get it nice and hot, all so that it can be dropped onto the bottom of this piece and then be opened up into a foot. Typically you see we do like a lot of solid foot sculpting, but this is a super technical Venetian style of dropping a foot. Yeah. It's very lightweight.
We particularly left a little extra thickness
Yes, I was going to mention that.
in the bottom of the piece because when you're
Thank
doing
you.
a trumpet foot, you want to have that thickness because the first thing Jake does is sit down and neck that trumpet foot.
Blow. Good.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that
That's
couldn't have
sealed.
went on better.
That's actively a sealed bubble. So now we have to open that back up.
How are you going to do that?
With
It's a-
elegance and class.
It's an ancient Glass Academy secret dating back to 2019.
Whoa.
Old as time itself.
Well, we just sealed the bubble so that I could get it lined up on there and thin it out by blowing it more. Now we got to reopen that bubble, and then Oliver's right there on cue, as always, with the gold lip wrap that we're going to put on here.
Do you
I mean,
want
the
that
foot
gold
toe.
lip wrap in 00 or 0?
00, please. Or if 0's out, that works, but yeah, it is. That's great.
So watch how he uses the jacks here to neck down a defined line in this bubble so that we can break it off. And the jacks are putting that defined line, the tweezers he's using, but it's chilling the surface of the glass so that it's a lot colder than the rest of the piece. Now watch what happens. He's going to put the diamond shears down there, and I'm going to break this off. And that just opened up the bottom of that bubble. It's a Venetian technique, and it worked out perfectly, Jake.
You notice how clear the glass looks right now with these new furnaces and
Yeah.
no craziness going on in there? It looks really good.
How many glassblowers are watching the show right now?
I'm going to open it a
Do you
hair,
have a
and then
microphone
we'll
on,
put that
Michelle?
there.
No. All right. How many glass blowers are out there watching the show right now? How many of you guys are celebrating our two new beautiful hub furnaces from John Childs? He is an
Okay.
amazing furnace builder. We
Now-
bought some tasty furnaces from him to upgrade the shop. A new event space,
That's a
the
beautiful
Michigan
size.
room and some new furnaces.
It's looking good. Wow, no it's not, it's true. And the tricky part about this foot is we've gotten this far, still got to open it up and make it look good, but flipping this around, all of a sudden you've got almost 50%, maybe 30% of the piece is past the punty and onto the pipe. So it's kind of a weird situation from a glassblower's perspective, from a maker's perspective in this process.
So watch how he goes in with the Jackson. He rips this open.
One sec. Okay. That's good.
So just like I put that
On
foot
there?
on the bottom of the piece, he's putting this trumpet foot on the bottom of his piece. It's gives it a lot more of a chalice style almost, kind of like the Holy Grail. Oh yeah. Oliver's just stumbling all over the molds over here.
I couldn't get my feet off the floor with all this stickiness over here.
That's kind of a tight punny situation.
Super tight.
That's what that is.
You know how to fix that, right? Make it work.
Get in there and open it up.
Oh, just drop a bit down in there.
Yeah.
Maybe a orange bit that matches the one on the top would be cool. So you press it up in there and you got a little gold action, orange action in there. Orange.
Okay, do you want to talk about what this spot right here, you want to explain it, Chris?
Huh?
Can you explain?
What was I talking about? I didn't hear what you said. You were looking at Jake and I couldn't hear anything you said. Oh, well, we're talking about having issues with punning this up. You saw how
Do a
I
tiny
punnied
clear gather.
that piece. And to
gonna
put
drop
a
it over
punty
top.
up on the inside of that trumpet foot,
No, a little bigger,
the
so it
punty would
drops in.
connect so heavily on the interior walls of that foot that it wouldn't be able to come off the piece. It would permanently attach itself to the piece. So that's one of the things you have to foreshadow when you're doing a trumpet foot is how you're going to punty this piece up. Sometimes they've got these little production metal grabbers that'll grab the foot around the
Let's just
bottom
put
and you
the
keep
punny
it
in there,
hot
make
and
it
you
a slim
don't even
punny.
punny
We're
it
gonna
up.
finesse it.
But this particular one,
Yeah, do it on a small one. And
I
make
think
it
Jay's
small.
going to
Do a
drop
mini
a
pipe.
bit into the bottom of the piece and
No, we're gonna finesse it. I just can't risk the design and the beauty and the classiness of the glass to be dropping a big old ball of goo down in there.
all right. Well,
So we're
then
gonna risk it for the biscuit. We're gonna hope
see.
that the punny doesn't touch the side, the delicate side of this foot in any way when we try and knock it off. And even if it does, we hope that it breaks off really clean and smooth and we get the torch in there and it smooths it all out and we're back to where we started.
Are you going to get dirty about the punty?
I don't want any dirt in there.
You don't?
Nope.
Jake's
Go for it.
living
It's as
on the
slim
edge,
as
folks.
possible.
It's a cold pipe. I'm letting it warm up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the pumpkins that Michelle's got in her hand right now. That's a lantern, folks, and it's a really cool one. Yeah, that's an amazing super gold that we got that's actually encased over a copper ruby, which is a dark Merlot red, which is a really beautiful. So if you think about a LED lantern light going
Yeah.
inside of there, it's pretty mind-blowing. And it's cool. Lanterns are pretty tasty.
And that's a heck of a giveaway, I'd say.
And I don't know if people realize, but if you're a new watcher, all you have to do to win the giveaway that we make at the end of the day and the amazing tea book for dummies right here is answer the question, what is your favorite fall
Nice.
food or drink and why? And you answer that question and send it to enews@glassacademy.com and you could be a winner.
All right, we're going to go for it. Oliver's got a perfect punny here. Before we apply this in here, I'm going to have it right here, and I'm going to have him roll it on the cold taglia on the sides to chill the sides so it's less sticky. Now, just the tip is very sticky. I'm going to grab it from deep on the punny and get it right where it belongs. Right there.
Everybody in the chat is nervous.
Oh boy, everybody.
I'm nervous,
Be
everybody.
careful. Oh, Oh, oopa! That was almost like a giant flaming piece of cheese.
We're gonna hurry.
That was the quickest 5 steps I've ever taken in my life.
Michelle's just mentioning that it's a really tiny punny and it's on a thin piece of glass on the bottom and the foot is thin and it, like I was saying, it extends onto the pipe. So I want to move with some elegance and some class here.
Not getting any direct heat from the glory hole.
That's right. No direct heat from the glory hole. It's got to come around and get up in there. So I'm going to trim it real fast, get it real thin so when you're sipping, you're not dribbling, you're just sipping, and then we're going to go for it.
You want me to flash that with the torch and all that funny?
Nah, we're going to do it in 2 heats, ideally. And I think that's going to be that.
You dribble a lot with your glasses. It seems to be a topic tonight.
Yeah. I mean, I did play, I was varsity captain of the basketball team.
Of the Rudolph Steiner dribblers?
I was dribbling all the time. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. So have we got a lot going on over here, but I want to just make sure that you folks know that you can go to Lisa's website, the Tea House website. What's that website?
I've
So
put it in
it's
the
Tea
comments a couple
House
times.
almost, like
Yep.
German. Yeah. Yep. That's nice. T-A...
Oh, boy.
I've got it in the comments, Chris.
It's already in the comments, folks. That's right.
Everybody's saying you're doing great, Jake. Nice teamwork. Keep up the good work. Take a deep breath.
Thank you.
Lisa,
Took a
you
deep
don't
breath.
know this, but we have this concept here called the bus. And Michelle can tell you about that a little bit. It's really good.
All right, let's get a stamp on it, Oliver. I'm going to flare it just a hair more. We're going to stamp it. We'll iridize it. We're going to get this thing off the pipe.
Only one person gets thrown under the bus on the show, folks, and let me know who it is.
When you're gone, it's usually Oliver.
Chris. Yeah. Oliver covers for me.
I'm a good
Thank
person.
you. I appreciate it, Oliver.
I pay my taxes.
I'm just going to toss it.
I've been telling Michelle for a while that we should have a shirt with a big tire print going across the back of it.
All right, go for it.
That's
All right,
right.
we're going to iridize it here.
Oh, he's bringing out that iridescence on the ridges, folks.
I got to straighten it. It's a little off
So
center.
then, Lisa, just so you know, all this color that we've added to this piece, a lot of it has silver nitrate in it.
There's
Changing
a little
the flame
bling.
on the glory hole here, cutting the oxygen, making it a very gassy flame, pulls that silver nitrate out to the surface, and gives it a very iridescent color finish to it.
Shiny.
Very shiny.
That's right.
One more good deep heat. And then we're going to knock it off. I can't get any water in there. I just got to tap the pipe, so we're going to see what it do. All right, here we
Definitely has a lot of nice glistening bling to it.
go. Yep.
We'll show
Are we gonna
everybody
get in
right
there?
on the camera. Hold it straight up because they got to vote on these.
Voting. That's going to be a transparent orange in the middle there.
Okay, pressure's on.
No bunker. Get right in there.
Nobody's cheering. That was like a big thing.
It happened. Focusing
Are we taking it away, Jake?
with this guy.
I got her.
Or he's got it.
And
Just
that
keep hitting
says
it. Keep hitting it.
Jake's
Keep hitting it.
piece is so classy.
Tell me when.
Just keep hitting it. All right, that's cool.
Robin says, I think Jake has the winner.
I'll get the door.
And put it away.
Yeah.
What if he trips us off?
There's not
I'm
that
having
much
my fun
treachery
over here
involved.
now.
They're on the bottom right. Nice.
Do we want to do housekeeping? We could do housekeeping. Absolutely. Oliver, you want to help me out with a little housekeeping?
Oh, I was just trying to walk away, but I guess I'll come back and
I
help.
just need to hand model real quick.
Yeah, I can hand model things.
So our very lovely piece right there on the corner there.
This pin,
No. The nice pumpkin. There you
Okay.
go. Perfect.
I know how to do my job, everybody.
So
Get up in
is this from the new color
This
last
is
week?
the
Is that
new
correct?
gold.
So I want to tell you guys, in my mind, this color and the way that it's on there reminds me of Monet's water lilies.
Oh.
Yeah. I'd go with that.
So is this a lantern? Can you flip that over,
Yes.
Oliver?
Is a lantern.
It's an amazing giveaway piece. So our winner for this giveaway piece is going to get lights. It'll come with the lantern here. But our question last week was, what are some unique features you look for in our glass pumpkins when coming to the gallery or shopping online during our shows? And of course, a lot of people said the color, the shape, the size, the value. We had some people mention that they're drawn to the cane pumpkins. We've had some people say they love to see new combinations they haven't seen from us before. Someone says, I've been to your gallery for Pumpkin Fest once years ago and I bought one of the very first Van Gogh pumpkins, but I visit you every year and buy at least one pumpkin yearly, but I have quite a collection. Some people love the Van Goghs. Some people like just having a variety, so they pick out a very different pumpkin every year. It's really cool to see, especially when people come in for Pumpkin Fest, who are our newer people to our gallery and who have kind of been here for a couple of years. Our newer or our first time people coming in always go towards the bright and shiny, bright orange pumpkins, because that's kind of more of a classic pumpkin. And then you have people who are kind of our Glass Academy addicts or our pros, where they're looking for something that's really one of a kind and unique, something that they don't have in their collection yet. So it's kind of cool to see those two different directions that people go in. So our winner here, like I mentioned, you are going to get that lovely lantern with some fairy lights in the box. So congratulations to Lori. So Lori, you're going to get an email from Donna on how to get your pumpkin, whether that is shipping or if you're coming in to pick it up. So you'll communicate with her, but congratulations. You got this beautiful with this new color lantern. I don't know if you mentioned me earlier or heard me mention earlier, but it reminds me of Monet's water lilies, like the kind of coloring and spotting in there.
Totally.
I do want to mention to you guys, Loyalty League. I've got a QR code right over here. Nope, over here. It's here. If you guys scan that QR code, it has information about the Loyalty League. That is our higher tier of our membership. Our Star Supporter tier, which is going to be over on the right side, over here. That is our membership that is always open year-round. And that one is going to get you access to our wonderful annealer reveal as well as some other amazing things. But our Loyalty League, which is right over here, does not open year-round. Coming up in November, I'm not releasing dates yet, but coming up in November, those who are already part of Loyalty League, you guys are going to be receiving your amazing gift soon. We're not telling you what it is. Stay tuned. But membership for the Loyalty League will be opening up next month. So if you are one of those people who were commenting even last week saying, how do I join? Your time is coming up. So stay tuned. We're going to release some dates coming up soon here of how to join. Michelle doesn't have a mic, but she says next show we will release the next dates of how to join. So that's usually only open for a week or two. So when we have that open, jump on the opportunity because it only comes around a couple of months.
I do want to jump in and say to our current members at both tiers, thank you. If you're wondering what that money goes towards, it helps us in our endeavors to branch out into more filming and do more creative projects here with the videography that we're doing. And it gives us a lot of like peace of mind when Jake and I want to pause and record like this moment of the business that we're working on. And it means a lot to us, guys, really, truly. Thank you.
It's super amazing, and it is true. We're having a blast with the annealer reveals. Robin was involved last week, and then we go on our big member studio tour, talk about all the projects happening at the studio, and really enjoy that opportunity, and keeps everybody going. And obviously there's perks involved too. Michelle mentioned that members gift is going to be getting sent out pretty darn soon, and you'll have more details about that. But
Yeah, so I'm going to pop it up here. You guys will see this at the end of the show, too. I'll leave it up longer at the end of the show. But you guys can see all of our members do get their names on this beautiful graphic that I've got up on the screen. So thank you to those of you. You guys can see your names. You know who you are. And everybody else knows who you are, too. So thank you, guys.
Shouts out, folks. And whether you're a member or not, we've done a lot of custom orders before. This is an amazing customer, might as well be a member, from the Renaissance Festival, who purchased a custom drinking glass for each of their family members. And this is the 4th member, folks. And Bobby wrote up the custom order, but Bess, if you see a comment out there for the name of this family member that's getting this piece, please let us know. This is a custom pink Van Gogh. I think they do know. I think they designed it, but they're all watching together, and I didn't get the name. But this is another pink Van Gogh, encased in clear, and it's going to have a Rosetta foot to match that beautiful Van Gogh pattern. And Rosetta was something I thought about doing on the center of my glass, too, but it just didn't scream harvest to me in the style of drink we were working with, so I opted to keep it simple and classy. But this is going to be a beautiful glass here.
I know Michelle just rang the subscribe bell. So I wanted to give a shout out to those of you who are always engaging with our page, whether you're members or not. You're liking, you're commenting, you're sharing. It's free to support us through that way as well, and it means a lot to us because the more that you interact with our page, whether that's on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, wherever you're engaging with us, that tells those social channels, hey, people like their content. Let me show it to more people.
We had quite a few people when we asked during these last 2 harvest weekends, we would ask, where did you find us from? And we often ask that question here, and we could ask it right now and keep an eye on the comments, you guys. How did you stumble across this show and become a part of the Glass Academy family? But we would ask those people during our show, and quite a few people said TikTok. And we don't monitor, we don't watch, we don't post on our personal TikTok anymore, but that means that people were taking videos or they were reposting from one platform to another platform and sharing our stuff and letting the people know about us, and that's just super cool. And the more people that do that, the exponentially greater our traction grows, and it's a super cool thing to see happen, and we appreciate that.
I'm still getting used to the idea that, like, I'm on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I'm on Facebook.
You're a content creator.
I'm very much not a social media person, and I am, like, relearning some of those things again now. And it's really messing with my head to the fact that, like, someone could be taking a video of me and putting it on TikTok, and I'm, like, finding out months later because someone saw it.
Totally. Super strange.
Oh, that's messing with my brain.
We're on the internet, folks.
I'm on the internet.
Blow. Good.
If you guys haven't seen it, we did post an Instagram reel. We posted it on Facebook too, but we posted it on Instagram, and it's doing pretty well of us making a pumpkin because it is pumpkin season. So if you haven't seen that video yet on Instagram, go check it out, go share it, go give it some love, comment, like it. Just kind of helps boost our videos and shows us some love.
Thinking that's going to be tall enough or a little taller?
I'd swing it. It's a perfect volume, but swing it. And this is part of that handmade aspect, and the coolest things about the drinks, if Lisa had said, hey, Jacob, you know, your glass was the #1 glass, and I want to have 12 of them all lined up on the bar, we would have a conversation together, and she would understand, and anybody would that comes in to drink from our bar, that every single one is handmade, and that's the beauty of it. So when these guys get a set of 4, although this is a special instance where, one moment.
Please hold.
Just a moment, everybody.
Keep going.
Just mid-sentence.
Good.
Where 3 of these were made at the Renaissance Festival, and one of them is being made on our live show. It'd be pretty cool if they were all exactly the same height, but that's the beauty of what we do. And even if we did I just made a set of 8 glasses for a couple from about 2 hours away, drove into the studio to talk to us about it, and super excited about their glasses. They're all a little taller, all a little shorter, some are a little bit wider, not drastically, but they're handmade, and that's the beauty of it. And that feels good to sip out of.
Gold brown foot.
Did we already talk about what this piece was that we're making here?
Yes, a little bit. But I don't think
is
we
that
have
gold brown out already?
I think that's the gray you were using.
No.
Oh no, that's gold brown size 1.
That might be gold brown over that way.
We're on a scavenger hunt.
Just gotta find the gold Brizown.
I know
Gold for the old one dunk.
a couple of you mentioned in the comments you found us from Sticky Lollies. It's cool that you've been here.
Represent.
The Sticky Lollies event was incredible.
Super fun.
One of my favorite things during the show is to see how many different countries are watching. And I know some of you have already commented. I've got obviously the United States because that's where we are located. We've got Canada, we've got Argentina, Australia, England, and New Zealand have all tuned in at some point in the show.
Super
so
cool.
I kind of see your names floating around of those of you who have mentioned you're over and abroad. But thanks for being here. We love kind of seeing everybody join
Any
in.
bigger?
If you're from a country I didn't mention,
Diameter
throw it in the
than
chat so I
outside
can
or
put you
no?
on the list.
We gotta
Anybody-
go over like the flags that we have at some point in time and
Absolutely.
make sure we're all updated.
I want to see if some people from Japan will get on the show and watch us sometime. We did? That would be amazing. We could tear it up in Japan.
Our sister state takes nuclear in many crafts.
Really?
I don't know if you guys can see what Chris is doing. He's just adding some detail there to that foot.
What's the furthest anybody in our stream here has traveled before? Let's see that in the chat. And if not the furthest, your favorite out-of-country experience. Starting with you, Bess.
I haven't been that far. I was on a college trip to Antigua for 2 weeks.
Where?
Antigua. It's in the Caribbean.
Ooh.
So I worked at a radio station in the morning, went to the beach in the afternoon, and played poker at night for 2 weeks.
That kind of sounds like the dream.
It was awesome.
That
My
sounds
voice
incredible.
is still played on the radio. I did a couple like ad spots for them, and it still played.
That's so sweet. No wonder she's so good at talking on the microphone over there.
It's almost like I have a degree in it.
I think if you just go by distance traveled, I've been to California.
I've
But
been
the
to
furthest
California.
away from the United States I've made it to is Canada.
Hey, that's better than nothing.
Heck yeah.
Canada's cool.
Haven't made it outside of North America yet.
Japan is the top of my bucket list by far. I've been talking about it for a long time.
Japan would be super cool. I mean, I was interested in going to Japan prior to like being in glassblowing, but to the point that Jake was making earlier, like I would love to see and just get to be able to like say I worked with a Japanese glass artist as well, because I see the stuff that they're doing online and like
Yeah.
I haven't been able to reverse engineer some of the stuff they're making. It's pretty intense.
It's pretty sweet.
I also want to go to their 7-Elevens.
You have an obsession with the Japanese 7-Eleven.
Just let it be, Oliver.
Some people want to go to Japan to like see the beautiful architecture,
I also want to
immerse
see all of
themselves
that.
in the culture.
Don't get me wrong.
You want to go to a franchise convenience store.
I also want to go to 7-Eleven. I want to see all of that. It's beautiful. I want to see all of it, but I also want to eat. So, we should just do a Glass Academy Japan trip. Just close for a week and we can go to Japan.
Man. January.
There you go.
Probably not this year, but maybe
In 5 years.
2026, we all go to Japan together.
Perfect.
That's where all the new membership money's gonna go towards, is funding the Japan trip.
We need to find a Japanese glass shop and go over there and film our show there.
There you go. That'd be fun.
Like paddle,
Could
Jake?
you imagine? That'd be so cool. If it's a business trip, it's tax deductible, right?
That sounds right.
Oh, yeah. It's a certified sipper.
In case you didn't hear Jake because his mic was off.
It's a certified sipper.
That's a certified sipper. Thank you, Bess.
Van Gogh with
for
all
that
the
beautiful
bells
reminder.
and whistles. Stamper, Jake?
Absolutely.
John says, what is so special about a Japanese 7-Eleven? They have a lot
Oh,
of
John,
really,
what have you started?
They have a lot of really cool food items. Look up, I'm not even joking, look up
Stamps
a
behind
video
you.
on YouTube, or if you are on TikTok possibly, or even Instagram, look up a Japanese 7-Eleven. They have some really cool food items. They have a lot of different drink items we don't have here. Our 7-Elevens are very boring in comparison, so go check it out, go watch a video. I promise you they have some really cool stuff there. I've heard the egg salad sandwiches are to die for. They're like super fluffy, and that's like the least exciting thing, so.
Bess, you have to know what it sounds like when you say, I want to do international travel
For an egg
for a
salad sandwich.
convenience store egg salad sandwich.
Just let me live my life, Oliver. It's not just for the egg salad sandwich, I swear.
I just want to go to a bodega and get an egg salad sandwich is crazy.
There's that tasty custom fourth
That's super nice.
drinking glass.
I know we were goofing off a lot and talking during this piece, but it turned out super nice, Chris.
Yeah, that's absolutely
All
beautiful.
right.
Deborah, Wawa is my favorite thing. I grew up in Philly, so love my Wawa. So in case you guys forgot the giveaway question, I'll read that off to you real quick.
Please.
Giveaway question is, what is your favorite fall food or drink and why? And apparently I had my mic off earlier. Thanks for the text, Mom, when I said my favorite drink. I got called
right
out.
back at ya.
I got called out. So I will tell to you guys again, I love a good fresh apple cider from somewhere local. If I'm feeling like I want to have some fun with it, I like to put a little butterscotch schnapps in there. Tastes like a little caramel apple. How about you?
Favorite drink?
Fall drink or
Fall
food?
drink or food?
Also like a good apple cider donut from somewhere local.
I don't know. I'm blanking.
You don't know?
You
I
don't
can
know?
cover for you. Take a second to think
Cover.
for it. My fiance Kayla's favorite drink is the pumpkin spice, and I enjoy that. But my real favorite is a little bit of apple cider, cream soda, and then like the apple flavored Crown Royal all together, and that makes for a good remember that candy when you were a kid that was like the green sucker with the caramel on one side? It tastes just like that.
Love
And
those.
Kayla thinks it's the grossest thing in the
Sounds
world, so I
horrible.
get it all to
Sounds
myself. I don't have
fantastic.
to share.
That's nasty.
Sounds great.
That's gross.
That's gross, Jake says. That's so gross.
I'll go with like an apple crumble.
I was gonna say fall is also like my soup season. I make a lot of really good soups. So I love a good, just any sort of like nice chunky soup in the fall.
Yep. Hearty. We're going to transfer into our final conversation with Lisa in 1 second, but we're thinking, Oliver, if you want to do the Van Gogh pumpkin net style for the giveaway,
Oh.
included with what we're about to talk about at the table as part of the giveaway as well. You want to work the camera for a second, Dad? While he gets it going?
All right. Thank you, Chris.
All right.
Oh boy, who gave
All
Chris
right.
the camera?
We're back over here for a little conversation on the book.
Yes, I've been reading while I've
Your
been
own book?
watching. Yes, because I was like, somewhere in here, I wrote an entire section on like accessories and going down the rabbit hole of accessories because I personally feel, and in most parts of Europe, so like other than the Brits, we all think of the Brits as being the tea drinkers. They're really not. And the best way to drink tea is actually in glass because you can see the color of the tea. So
Hot tea,
glass,
you mean?
hot tea all the time.
Not in our glass.
Not in your glass.
But a different
Not
type of
yeah.
glass.
Please don't use your glasses;
Yes.
they will break. But like what is the glass called? This like the B word. The
Borosilicate.
glass.
That exactly that. So when you
Yes.
go into the more Western Europe, like if you go to Germany, the Dutch, those are the people who drink the most tea, and they drink it in glass mugs.
Very interesting.
Yes,
It does
so-
make sense.
It does make sense because you get to see the color of the tea. You get to, especially if you have loose leaf tea, you get to see it like bloom or to unfurl. If you want to say that. Yes. So there's some information about that in my book. And Jill, who helped write, she works at my store. She writes our blog. We have an amazing blog. And Jill was a research and academic book editor at the University of Michigan for about 30 years. Got tired of doing that, and I said, when they asked me to write this book, I thought it was spam. They asked me like 5 or 6 times. I got an email during COVID saying, will you write this book? And I was like, collabs.
Yeah.
Right? turns out they actually wanted me to write the book, so I did. But I told Jill, I was like, I got all the information, but my brain does not sit down.
Me either.
You gotta have a
couldn't write a
collab. You gotta have. So Jill helped me put all of the, she made it into. It's a pretty nerdy book because I'm a pretty nerdy gal. But there's a whole section on cocktails and tea mixology. There's the whole section on. I mean, it's a little sciencey. I think there's about 12 pages on polyphenols in there.
And so, other than the person that's going to get this book included and signed
By Jill and myself.
by both of you guys
Yeah.
as the giveaway for next week, included with the pumpkinette that Oliver's finessed together,
Nice.
where could they purchase this if they're interested in learning more about tea and reading your book?
Well, obviously, if you're ever in Ann Arbor, you should definitely swing by because
Absolutely.
the Glass Academy is really just right around the corner. Not the Academy itself where I am now.
Chris
but
Nordine Studios.
The studio, thank you, is right there. But also our website, it's just teahouse, teahaus.com. And we have everything for sale in there. We also have, again, our blog, which is It's More Than Tea, at WordPress. I think, we'll find a glass and we'll write like a nice little 3 to 5 minute read just on the history of that glass and so on. So if you guys ever find some glass that you want researched, Jill's your gal.
Send it your way.
Definitely.
Okay. Well, that's beautiful, and I think that's a super cool book. I'm excited to flip through it and see what the deal is
It's not
before
just
it
for
gets
dummies.
sent out on Thursday.
Yes, definitely read it.
Love it.
Super cool. So let's see what Oliver's up to. This is going to be included in the giveaway. If you guys haven't entered to win that, Bess has talked about it multiple times. Sorry to be blasting your ear right now.
You're fine.
But,
I just had you turned up. I got to turn you back down.
Yeah.
All right, Oliver, why don't you tell us what's going on over there?
We're just doing it over here. We're getting in I'm doing just in the spirit of the Van Goghs we've been doing today, I'm doing a pink Van Gogh as well. We got all the colors out. And I'm just doing my last pass of color on here. Making sure I got all these lines and layers of both large size frit, the powder, everything, mixing it all up.
So multiple layers of goodness.
And I'm about to go to Swirl Town here. I'm about to take it all the way to Swirl Town. So I'm just getting some good heat on this. I'll take it over to the glory hole for the rest of the heat.
It's not an ordinary experience when Oliver goes to Swirl Town, folks. You can hear his tires squealing when he's on his way there.
I'm going to be moving fast.
It's like one of those cars that's got the dual exhaust and the cherry bombs on it.
Can I mention one thing about the table?
Mention it.
Number 7. It's a mystery item.
Oh,
I'm surprised
yes.
it's still here. You guys will not be disappointed. If somebody snags number 7, whether you're watching this live or you're watching this on a replay, I promise you will not be disappointed. It is a fantastic item, and it's a mystery.
And we wanted to mention, as Michelle, I'm sure, when she looked over the table, mentioned, there's 4 signature pumpkins on the table here tonight, which are not available through the regular 5 or 6 styles that we have on the website. We took the time to photograph them. You got a large squasher, actually 3 of them are squashers, and you got a stumper. So those are still somehow available here during the show, and we usually sell out throughout the rest of the week. Not everybody can watch live, but I do love number 2 there in the 32 pointer. Maybe that's a 24.
That
That's
might
a
be
serious
number
leaner.
5, Jake.
That's number 5?
I think so. Number
either
2
2 or 5.
Number 2's gone. So Oliver went to Swirl Town. I saw the smoke and I saw the rubber burning. He was loving it. And now he's going to go even deeper into Swirl Town.
Yeah,
Whoa.
so this is going to be my first chance to practice the newly rediscovered
That's
swirling
right.
technique with the tweezers.
He might lose the tweezers. They might fall right out of his hand. So let's send him some good energy right now. He's going to be rotating the tool about 520 degrees. Is that a turn and a half? If it was 360 times 2, that'd be 720. He's going to do a 720. Yes, nice. That was like 520.
2 comments.
There's
I'll
the
read here
720.
real quick. 2 comments I'm going to read.
Yep.
Gaia says, evening from England.
What up, Gaia?
Hello. Diane says, first time watching your live show. Thank you. This has been great. The great was capitalized.
Take a little
Let's
heat
go,
on that.
Diane. Welcome. Oh, there's Dawn, too. What's up, Dawn? Watching from Grand Rapids.
I thought
Hope
Dawn
everything's
was
good over
on
there.
vacation.
Grand Rapids
you
sounds
talking
like
about the
vacation.
date?
She's
Or
out
the
of town
Dawn?
in Grand Rapids.
Perps Queen Dawn.
Dawn, Michelle, and I were just over there. Went to the Frederick Meyer Garden for our anniversary. It was pretty nice.
I'm just gonna go in and tighten these up a little bit more. I'm gonna let it sink down.
Looks like a pretty good turnout on the YT folks as well. And anyone who's brand new, holler at us there. We love to see it. We are at Glassblowing on YouTube, which is super cool that we got that handle, but seems to be usually typically more comments on Facebook, higher streaming quality on YouTube. A lot of our viewers will put YouTube up on the TV and comment on Facebook.
That's super fair.
It seems like things are kind of evening out at this point. And when we hit 1 million views on YouTube, something's going to go down on our 300 show on New Year's Eve.
I can't believe we're that close. Chris, your mic's not on.
He said something.
I said, are we really going to be filming
At midnight?
At midnight? I mean, that's something spectacular as it is.
We're going to have to see about
I
that.
know Bess was looking to do that. She was like,
I'm not going to be
she's
here.
like, I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing, so I just want to be on the Gathering
I'm
Point
out
show.
of state. I am out of state. I will not be here.
Bess is hanging out in Alabama for New Year's.
I wish, but no.
Where are you going?
To Philly.
Philly?
Yeah.
Hometown?
Every year.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
That sounds fine.
Are the Philadelphia Flyers, are they losing that night? Oops, I mean playing.
Hockey season's back, baby. It's go time.
All right, now I'm just getting a lot of heat on this. I've lost a lot of core heat doing the Van Gogh, and I lost even more than what typically Jake or Chris do. Took a little bit more time getting those swirls in, doing the super swirler and everything.
Don't lose a tongue there.
We're not going to lose the tongue.
How did it feel letting go of the tweezers in your hand as you were swirling?
It felt like I should be locked up. It felt like I was committing
Wrong.
crime.
Yeah.
But I feel like I got the swirls like right where they're going to end up, just above center, like on the side of the pumpkin. So
Super
they're, like,
important.
visually apparent.
That's great forethought there, thinking about not only is he trying a new technique with the tweezers, but he's also planning ahead to where those swirls are going to end up on the completed pumpkin shape, which many of our items, you know, are made upside down. He just hit the mold like a champion. Look at the ribs on there.
Were you just saying that it was a close call that Oliver's wrists or fingers didn't lock up when he was doing the...
Yeah.
Like that one time his lips locked up when he was blowing into the thing and they cramped and it
Yes.
was literally for like, I think about 2 or 3 days his
was
lips were just
stuck.
like pushed off to
horrible.
one side and he looked like he was having the lemon pucker all day long.
I could
Not
only
good.
eat soup for 3 days.
Through a
Out
straw.
of a straw.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of those big boba straws.
It happens to the best of the glassblowing community.
Just to clarify, is this the giveaway piece?
Yes.
All right, this is the giveaway piece. Our question is at the bottom of the screen. So our question is, what is your favorite fall food or drink and why? You're going to send your answer to enews@glassacademy.com. If you put it in the comments, that's great. I love to see them. But it doesn't get you entered to win. So make sure you guys are entering through sending that email to
That's nice, Oliver.
enews@glassacademy.com.
That's so nice.
And you're putting your name in the email because we love Donna.
You ready for me?
Yeah, let me set these jacks down real quick. And I'm gonna
It's
be ready
honestly
for you.
really impressive that Oliver got the amount of texture from the 12-point mold on his pumpkin after all that cooling down of the piece because he was doing all that texture, that color action.
It's because I'm a mold hitting champion. Get a little flip. Thank you. Bam.
That's the kind of people we want here at the Glass Academy, the mold hitting champions, ladies and gentlemen. In the flesh, there he is. He gets all the pressure. Beautiful stem. Nice
That
work,
on
Oliver.
there. Thank you. We're just doing it.
Those pumpkins have come a long way, folks. A long, long way. That's a classy pumpkin.
Okay, we're going to take one quick look at it, and then if I could get a reduction, Jake, that would be amazing.
What colors is this?
This is basically going to be a pink Van Gogh, but it came out pretty gold heavy.
I
Which
like
I'm not mad
the
about
stripe
one
I
bit.
can see.
Gold on the stem, gold in the body. He's iridizing it right now. Then he's going to be knocking it off, torching the bottom, and putting this piece away. Sounds great.
The mystery pumpkin has sold.
The mystery pumpkin number 7 purchased. Oh, it's in there?
It's in there.
I'll show it off right at the end of the show. We'll reveal it to the number 7
We'll
champion.
reveal it.
It's got a lot going on. Little mycelium mojo.
All right, let's see how we do.
You don't need all of that, do you? Just do it in the middle. It's our nice drinkware pad.
Trade ya. Thank you. Get hooked off the foot here.
Everybody is singing your praise, Oliver, in the comments.
Should be right on the tool rack over there.
Bam.
Bam.
That's incredible. We'll go and show off number 7 here. You're not about to take it, are you?
Party foul, Ellery.
Oh, we got a signature squatty lantern.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
Show it off one more time.
What?
Yeah.
Tossing a pin in too?
Tossing a pin.
This brand new signature pin that matches the pumpkin?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Going right in the box.
Let's go.
Gonna hand it right off to Ellery. She's gonna get it all boxed up.
All right, well, Lisa, you got some final words for the people?
I just whispered, that's so cool. So I can say it out loud. That's so cool.
Yeah.
No, this has been really fun because we never get out. You know, when you're a small business owner, you never get to leave your actual
There's a
business.
lot happening.
So if I can like tie something that's like work related to also an excursion, then it's like there's no mom guilt, there's no employer guilt, there's no like I'm working, but if I can also make sure it's like super freaking cool.
Totally.
Thank you for making this super freaking cool for me because I never get out.
Oh.
Thank you. No, this is amazing.
Super
Thank
cool.
you.
Honored to have you.
No,
You're
I
welcome to
appreciate
come by the gallery in Ann Arbor anytime and use the guilt sucker if you have any. Because it's there.
it. Oh yeah, it's always there.
So you guys ask any questions you got in the chat to her. We'll pass them along. You saw the website. This book's going to be included. And if you come visit us in Michigan or if you are local, check out her amazing shop in Ann Arbor. Stop by Chris's gallery as well. And
see one of Chris's pieces again on my wall.
Yeah,
That's right.
exactly.
Thank you. Yeah.
all right. That's the gathering point, folks. We appreciate you all. Bess and Oliver over there, they're champions. Chris, Michelle, everyone that made it happen.
Thank you, everyone, for
Have a
watching. Thank you,
beautiful week.
members.
Over and out.